The Sheikah are a mysterious and elusive people, a tribe who have remained in the shadows of Zelda lore since their first appearance. But 2017's Breath of the Wild is changing this. It's a game which appears to have a heavy focus on the shadow folk. So with this spotlight on them, will we get a return of the fan favourite Sheikah, Princess Zelda's alter ego, Sheik? It was in 1998's Ocarina of Time that Sheik made her first appearance. Wait, let's get something straight. Her? His? Sheik's gender is a point of heavy debate amongst Zelda fans. In Ocarina of Time, Sheik is referred to as a young man, whereas in later media this appears to have been smoothed over, in favour of the idea that it's just a simple disguise and she is still female. It's possible that Zelda used magic to change her gender entirely, supported by the male grunting sounds and apparent lack of female body structure, and the fact that magic is likely the reason she managed to change race from Hylian to Sheikah, shown by her eye colour changing to the trademark red. To make it simpler, I just refer to Sheik as a female because obviously she's the same person as Princess Zelda, and it appears that female is the direction Nintendo have been trying to take the character since Ocarina of Time, evidenced by her much more feminine appearance in Hyrule Warriors, which is a licensed Zelda spin-off. Anyway, back on topic. It was in 1998's Ocarina of Time that Sheik made her first appearance. Princess Zelda is nowhere to be found after the 7-year jump. She instead appears in a much more covert way as her alter ego, Sheik, in order to hide from Ganondorf. Sheik is a stealthy, agile, kick-ass ninja who plays the harp, and appears to help Link on the latter half of his quest during Ocarina of Time. Sheik is a member of the Sheikah tribe, one of the coolest Zelda races. Sheikah are the servants of the Hylian royal family, always living in mystery and shadow. It's likely that Zelda became Sheik using magic and the teachings of her Sheikah attendant, Impa, since she mimics Impa's tendencies like disappearing with Deku Nut explosions. In the past, Sheik and Impa made up the vast majority of what we've seen of the Sheikah, but Breath of the Wild, with its larger focus on the shadow folk, seems to be changing this. Even in the demo we've learned more about their backstory, technology, culture, architecture, and even seen multiple ancient Sheikah monks. But a question many fans have been asking about Breath of the Wild is whether we'll see a return of the Zelda series' resident ninja herself, Sheik. So let's explore this possibility. Of course, the first factor we need for Sheik to make an appearance in Breath of the Wild is an obvious one. We need Princess Zelda. I've already addressed in my video talking about the identity of the voice that tells Link to open his eyes that I believe that this voice belongs to Zelda, because when she talks to Link atop the first Resurrection Tower, Zelda's lullaby plays quietly in the background. Additionally, while the voice is talking to Link, and only while the voice is talking, a bright white light can be seen from the centre of Hyrule Castle. Could this be showing a presence of Zelda, projecting her voice to Link through the Sheikah slates? So we know that Princess Zelda is probably alive and communicating with Link in Breath of the Wild. The next thing we need is a connection between her and the Sheikah, which is an obvious one. Besides the ties between the Sheikah and the royal family present throughout the whole series, there's the fact that Zelda speaks to Link using Sheikah technology. Her voice is heard in the Shrine of Resurrection and through the Sheikah slate, so it's obvious that Zelda has a strong connection to the Sheikah tribe in this game. Now, what about a need for the disguise of Sheik? Zelda became Sheik during Ocarina of Time to hide from Ganondorf, but this doesn't seem necessary in Breath of the Wild since the Calamity Ganon is trapped in Hyrule Castle. However, there's an important feature in Breath of the Wild that perfectly matches Sheik's archetype: stealth. In Breath of the Wild, Link has the ability to sneak into enemy encampments, which is an expansion on the stealth feature that the Zelda series has only brushed on once or twice, an example being Wind Waker's Forsaken Fortress. The game has a meter in the lower right corner that shows how much sound Link is making, and obviously the more sound made, the more likely you are to alert enemies of your presence. From what we've seen so far, stealth appears to be just one of many ways of taking out enemies, but I wouldn't be surprised if more powerful enemies later were almost impossible to take down head on, and stealth must be used to gain the upper hand. Sheik is the Zelda character that best fits this new stealth factor by far. She is, by design, a typical ninja, silent and quick, and sneaking to hide from powerful foes that run rampant around the post-apocalyptic Hyrule of Breath of the Wild seems like a perfect reason for Zelda to require the disguise of Sheik. Something interesting to note is the clothes that Link is wearing when he wakes up in the Shrine of Resurrection, or rather, the underwear. Link wakes up wearing tight blue shorts, but do they look at all familiar to you? They should, because they're almost identical to the design of the leggings worn by Impa and Sheik in Ocarina of Time. I'm not sure that this detail means anything more than these shorts are just Sheikah in origin, but it's interesting nonetheless. A final point on the subject of Sheik comes with an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, who mentions that the Zelda development team have discussed a spin-off game starring Sheik as the main playable character. He said, "Within the development team too, there have been talks about how it might be cool to have a game that features Sheik as a protagonist. It's having maybe a Zelda spin-off with Sheik as a protagonist, for example. I don't think that's an impossibility." While of course this doesn't confirm anything, it does tell us that Nintendo realised the potential of Sheik as a fan favourite character. And additionally, if this Sheik spin-off game ever was to come to fruition, what better way to re-establish the character in time for it than to feature her in what looks to be their 2017 blockbuster, Breath of the Wild. For a Zelda game that's showing a new emphasis on the Sheikah tribe and stealth, two things that best describe Sheik, I would say that it's probable that we'll see a return of Zelda's alter ego in Breath of the Wild. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more Breath of the Wild content. On the subject of Sheik, if you want to see me play some Smash Bros with an awesome Hyrule Warriors fan mod skin for Sheik, click the link on screen. If you have any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If I make a video on your suggestion, I'll credit you in the video. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.